west, east, and it is for that reason, among others, that Sarajevo truly earns its reputation as a multicultural city. We have the symbol of the 1984 Winter Olympics. Noticed that mural the other day, guys. Remembering Srebrenica. That's what I like about the atmosphere of a bustling city like this. A lot going on. Also read last night that outside this hotel, 1992 I believe. Hello. No photo. Okay, no. Bosnian policeman told me off. Now here, guys, this is quite interesting. This is the Mostar district, and down here we have west, east, where east meets west, and you can see the change in architecture. Down here, it's almost as if we're walking through, might as well be walking through Vienna, or Prague, or Paris. Whereas just behind me there, you can see the Turkish, the Ottoman influence in the architecture, reminiscent of something you might see in Istanbul. It's so early just now, guys. There's there's no one going around, just me. And here we have Catholic Church. Catholicism being one of the religions represented here in Sarajevo, the Jerusalem of Europe. The other main religions represented here, obviously Islam, Judaism, and Eastern Orthodox, Christian Orthodox. And what's amazing and fantastic about it is that literally within a few streets of each other you have Orthodox, an Eastern Orthodox church, a Catholic church, a mosque, and a synagogue. And it is for that reason, among others, that Sarajevo truly earns its reputation as a multicultural city. And down here we have the symbol of the 1984 Winter Olympics. You see that quite a lot all over the city in different places. And I found out yesterday that the mascot for the 1984 Winter Olympics here in Sarajevo, the wolf character that we may have seen yesterday at the cable car, his name is Vuchko. And you sometimes see Vuchko around the city, different forms. You see Vuchko plushies and Vuchko posters, and iconic of the games from 1984. Now down there, guys, when you're walking around the city streets here, you can't help but notice red, like every now and then you'll come across red markings on the the street like that. And what I believe it is, so I've heard, is that it's red resin that's been marked into the floor deliberately to mark a point in the street where during the Siege of Sarajevo a shell has landed and taken a life, killed somebody, which is a sobering reminder of just how awful and how real this this war was and this conflict was. Just awful. The eternal flame of Sarajevo. The streets still fairly empty. The city's just waking up. Delivery drivers are already awake and delivering goods, produce, shipments, keeping the local businesses and the groceries and the stores going. A bookshop selling all sorts of books. It's like a graphic novel of Gavrilo Princip and the assassination of Franz Ferdinand. June 1914, 110 years ago. The air is nice and crisp, fresh and cool. Dare I say it, even I would even call this chilly. Mind you, being from a cold, naturally cold country myself, I can't really complain about this level of cold. This is mild compared to what I'm used to. Noticed that mural the other day, guys. Remembering Srebrenica. Hope to visit the Srebrenica Memorial Gallery here in Sarajevo. Maybe even look at doing a day trip, a tour, guided tour to Srebrenica. To pay my respects and to learn a wee bit more about the atrocity and the genocide that took place there. Shopping centre or a mall. Did have a peek in there the other day, and quite a lot going on in there. Some beauty parlours, some boutiques, a few electronic stores as well. One of two shopping malls I've actually been in. The other one a bit further on, Sarajevo 84, and the Olympic logo. And the other day as I was passing this big plaza bit here, there was some like youth handball or volleyball games going on here. It was a good atmosphere, there was music, people having a good time. Good to see. That's what I like about the atmosphere of a bustling city like this. A lot going on. Modern tram there. Decent tram network here in Sarajevo. Noticed in this building yesterday as I was passing it that still seems to be some bullet holes and possible damage from the siege. Something that is quite common in some of the buildings, well, quite a few of the buildings I've noticed in in Sarajevo so far. Ali Pasha Mosque here. Minaret rising into the sky, and beautiful architecture there. We've made it just in time to cross. I read last night, guys, on the internet that way up there on the hill there's a big building being constructed, and I did notice it, and I was curious what it was because it's quite monolithic in size and it sort of stands out in the landscape, and apparently it's some kind of roof garden development. I'm not sure if it's, I think it's maybe an apartment complex, I read, and understandably it's been quite controversial with the local residents here in Sarajevo, understandably, because a lot of arguments that it's impeding and impacting upon the natural beauty of the environment, which I have to agree with, to be honest with you. Especially such a big footprint of a building. It's a shame to take away from the natural beauty of the mountains, but it looks like it's already quite far along in development, so I guess the developers got their way. Quite a few parks as well, I've noticed, in the city centre here. Nice open green spaces, families to sit, enjoy the sun and have a picnic. Many of whom I saw the other day when it was quite hot. Sunday afternoon it was really quite hot, and probably the busiest I've seen it so far, the city. Quite a few tourists like myself. So far, not many UK tourists that I've met. Certainly non-Scottish tourists, but quite a lot of mainland European tourists. Spoke with a couple of German tourists yesterday, an elderly Polish couple travelling over from Poznan, and an American family as well. They were nice, from Colorado, enjoying a family break to the Balkans. They mentioned that they'd been to Zagreb in Croatia, and that they were moving on from Sarajevo to Podgorica in Montenegro. Hope to one day visit all the Balkan countries, Bosnia and Herzegovina being my first, and I'm glad to have had my first experience in the Balkans, in a country that has always fascinated me. Two major world events, either end of the 20th century, had far-reaching implications. 1914, Franz Ferdinand. 1914, Franz Ferdinand, and then early 90s, you had Bosnian War and the Siege of Sarajevo. And once again, Sarajevo was in the headlines around the world. we have SCC, another big shopping mall. I was in there yesterday. A lot of great shops in there, designer brands, nice restaurants, boutiques, cafes, bakeries. Very nice to peruse. And just down here off in the distance, we see the Hotel Holiday. Another church here. And just here, just as we pass another shopping centre on the right hand side, we're approaching the Hotel Holiday building. Still a functional hotel all these years later, 30 years later since the siege, and the Hotel Holiday played an important role during the siege, being the base of a lot of the international correspondents and journalists covering the siege. A lot of them were based there, as I believe for extended periods of time, while the city of Sarajevo was deprived of electricity and power, steady source of power supply. The Hotel Holiday was one of the few buildings that was able to maintain a supply of electricity and power. And for that reason, the journalists and the correspondents used it as their base. Also read last night that outside this hotel, in 1992 I believe, some of the first victims of the siege, their lives were lost during a peaceful demonstration. Some snipers had taken up positions inside the hotel and fired on the peaceful demonstration, and unfortunately killed a few people. And I believe I read that they were the first, among the first victims of the siege. It's known as Sniper Alley or Sniper Highway, and I've heard that it was given that name because during the siege it was a popular place for snipers to take up nests and posts in the high rises, and because there's so many of them, I guess it would be very, very difficult to know where the sniper fire was coming from. Crazy. Now, up here, I think we might have our first Balkan stray dog. Now, I've heard that in the Balkans you do get stray dogs, quite a few actually, and I've only just seen my first one here in Sarajevo. I've heard about them. I've had friends who have went to other areas and other cities in the Balkans, and they've said that they've seen packs of wild dogs roaming around more often than not friendly, just keeping themselves to themselves. However, you do often wonder if you see a wild dog, you don't want to get on the wrong side of it. We have some police officers here, so I have to make sure that walk when I can. Don't want to get on the wrong side of them. Just going to go up to the right here. Hello. No photo. Okay, no problem. Sorry. I just go to train station, okay? No problem. Voila. A vast twist tower. Quite remarkable to see. Quite a feat of engineering, these twist towers. There are a few towers, skyscrapers that have a twisting structure around the world, and this one offers a beautiful panoramic view from the observation deck on the 34th or the 35th floor. I went up there the other day, I can't remember which one it was. Certainly one of those. Doesn't cost much to enter. Only a couple of euros. You rise quickly, you rise so quickly in the glass elevator that you can actually hear your or feel your ears pop. Now guys, just back there, Bosnian policeman told me off for filming near the US embassy, so oh well, I guess it's only right of him to do so, seeing as there is a sign I've just passed saying no photography, so my bad. He was okay about it really, but seeing as we are about to go into the main train station, Sarajevo, rather not encounter the same issue. So we'll catch up with you when we are on the train, hopefully bound for Mostar. Doesn't look that busy just now, but I'm happy to see there is some activity on the far side. And you can see the style of building, architecture, very reminiscent of the communist period. Right, we'll catch up with you on the train, guys, as we continue our epic journey through Bosnia and Herzegovina.